NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going, mate? You good? You're probably doing better than me. This is NBA Straya. It's Friday, TGIF, am I right? June 6th. And I'm your crook host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour's studios. If you're watching on the YouTube, I'm actually sitting down for the first time in a while as well, because your mate Jim is just bloody cooked. But hey, that's enough about me. We got an absolute stone cold stunner. An absolute classic. Finals game 1 today. Indy come from the absolute clouds. Awesome game. We'll break that down in the NBA Straight game wraps. There's other little bits and bobs of news and stuff, like Adam Silver talking expansion. We'll hit on that. Some KD trade stuff, which is all well and good, but whatever. Holy crap, what a game. So we'll do the game wrap. We've got That's Not a Knife, I'll Make No Mates, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball, Magic Tweet of the Week, Dickhead of the Week. It is Friday. Then we'll do some Nars, the Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and OUTBACK Takehouse, where we're serving up a flame grill take. And an Andrew Gay's Great Mamba Award, and then a pick and preview for Monday's Game 2. And remember, we are doing a live show at Hotel Trentham. That's right, Chris Anstey's pub up in Trentham in Victoria on Monday morning. So come along, hang out, smash some tins. It's gonna be awesome. Right, without further ado, let's get into this one. Episode 1283 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack!
Oh, you better watch out for the Halliburton attack again. If you are the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's been a million memes to come out of game 1, but the best one is the Happy Gilmore, where it's got the alligator, the grandma, everyone, all the ghosts up there looking down on him. And it's the Thunder basically get to join, the Bucks, the Knicks, the Cavs, who have gotten smoked out of nowhere by the Pacers. You should also watch out for the attack of Influenza A, because that's what the baby's got, and apparently that's probably what your mate Jim has. So, should be right by Monday, though. But goddamn, I had a really fucking rough back half of yesterday. Did yesterday's show, and then basically collapsed on the couch and didn't move for the next million hours. So yeah, good times, great memories. Anyway, outside of that, I'm just, I am a trooper, if nothing else. Just pushing through the pain. She's right. Hopefully my voice isn't too annoying. Hey, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with a daily. I believe it's some sort of, is it a whip around? Of course it is. Hey, Adam Silver fronted the press, which is always fun because he does that before the finals start. He was asked about a bunch of stuff like the CBA and parity, and he's like, I like the way that we've got parity. It would be weird if we were getting so many back-to-back champions. I wouldn't complain. It's like, all right. We're going to have Team USA versus Team World in some sort of format next year in the All-Star game. Basically, they just haven't decided on how they're going to do this because, as people have pointed out, you're going to have Bogdan Bogdanovic making the All-Star team ahead of Trae Young, and it's going to be hilarious. So Adam Silver said, I don't think a straight-up USA versus World makes sense. International players make up 30% of the league, and Americans are obviously the other 70%. That's not what they did in the NHL either. There will probably be some different teams we form. NHL did the four nations kind of thing. Kind of cool. I don't know. All-Star game. You make it any more fucking complicated than that team versus this team of those guys, and you fucked it, But the big one, obviously, for your mate Jim, surrounded as he is by Seattle Supersonics merch here in NBA, Larry Armour Studios. The NBA is apparently going to consider and discuss expansion at next month's Board of Governors meeting in Vegas. And Adam Silver, believes that the league's owners will recommend the topic be formally explored. Which is a bit different, right? He's like, I want to take the temperature of the room. And he's like, yeah, look, there's enough interest among the owners to take the next steps. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit. They're all going to cash massive, massive checks that the players don't get to touch, right? Like, that's how expansion works. You can charge $5 billion per franchise that you're adding to the NBA, right? And the players don't see any of that money. You just cut a check between the other 30 owners of like $10 billion. It's like, all right, folks, here's $300 million just for giving me a thumbs up to go have a chat with Seattle and Vegas. But that's also the sort of thing, the formal exploration aspect of this, right, is basically like, we're not engaging in the process right now because I have to be fair to everybody. I don't want to have meetings with some and not with others. So if we say yes, we now move into exploratory phase. We would take the meetings. And then they talk about, you know, all the other people that they'd sort of hang out with, like figuring out markets, economic opportunities, media opportunities, etc. So basically, it sounds like this is the start of the process that'll get my Sonics back. About bloody time. It just makes me so angry watching this fucking OKC team as well. Like, and before we get into the game one wrap, I mean, that is 100% one of the parts of like why expansion and I want it to happen. I want my Sonics back because I'm watching the Thunder and all I can think about is how fucking invested I would be in this team in SGA if they were the Seattle Supersonics, right? And it does my fucking head in. And so, yeah, fuck the Thunder, fuck Clay Bennett, and fuck David Stern. Hey, anyway, other little bits and bobs. Rick Pitino, absolutely not interested in the Knicks job. I did love that Rick Pitino's name got floated around. It's like, he's been old. He's old as shit. He's been floating around in college for ages. He's fine. Danny Hurley would be funny. I don't know how his temperament would go in the NBA. But he nearly landed with the Lakers. I figured they had Jay Wright locked in and loaded and ready to go, but we haven't heard anything about the Knicks stuff, so maybe it is like Johnny Bryant or something. Who knows? And then the final little bit of news is Russell Westbrook. Apparently he's been contacted by Hapoel Tel Aviv, where the Euro Cup champs are apparently going to make him an offer with a salary never seen before in European basketball. I don't know. Can we get Rusty to Melbourne United? Like, fuck it. Come on, Larry, let's sort this out. Hey, that's enough of that. Let's talk about this insane game one. In today's Game Wrap. What a game to kick off the NBA Finals. Seriously, Indy 111, OKC 110. Absolutely absurd gear this game was. I mean, even now, as you sort of sit back and look at it, I still have zero idea how OKC, A, lost this game, and B, Indy won it. It was like, they had 24 turnovers, the Pacers, and like, if you go back through the game, like, OKC get off to a fast start, they're up 7-0, took Indy almost 3 minutes to score a single point. Dort couldn't hit a shot, but then it sort of started to switch into exactly what we expected from OKC, is that they're going to force a shit ton of turnovers, and OKC's like secret sauce is clearly it's not secret sauce, it's just clearly their like defense leading back into their offense. And they were just like forcing turnovers left, right, and center. It was like they were going out of fashion. It was insane. And then quickly, like there was 2 quick turnovers, 3 quick turnovers. It gets to 10-10 very quickly, though. So, Indy fight back. Indy, I think, started, 0-4 from the floor, then went 4-4. You had a couple of brutal Obi Toppin turnovers. And still with, I think, 3 minutes left in the first quarter, Indy's, on 10 points. It was crazy. They had 6 turnovers at that point in 8 minutes. Then they got another Obi Toppin turnover. I think that was his 3rd for the first quarter. Then there was 8 turnovers when Siakam calls this moving screen. And I think at that point, it was 25-15. The Thunder had taken 10 more shots than the Pacers already, which is just incredible. You can't lose a possession battle that badly, right? But they were, and I mean, the story of the quarter was the 9 turnovers. It was absolutely brutal. But I mean, they're only down 9 points. It was like 29-20 after the first quarter. And then a good start to the second quarter by Indy. Yeah, Siakam drawing a foul, but yeah, Toppin hitting a 3, and you're like, oh, here we go. Nope, more turnovers. OKC was so aggressive And as I've referred to them before, they're like just like a pack of velociraptors, right? Chasing down everything, trying to get a hold of you, and then just like tearing the ball from them, just stripping it, just absolutely going after everything. But with 11 turnovers so far, it was only a 6-point game. And then they had another turnover. And you're like, oh, this should be spiraling completely out of control. But it sort of still stayed at like 7 points, 8 points, whatever. And then it sort of starts eking out because Indy get to this point where they have 18 turnovers in the first half. And they have another one at the end. And TJ McConnell was their leading scorer at the half. So SGA hits a 3. It's 57-45 at the break. At that point, SGA had 19 points. TJ McConnell was leading Indy with 9 points. And it was like, what the hell is going on? The Thunder had taken 18 more shots because the Pacers had committed 19 turnovers in the first half. The thing was, OKC hadn't really like capitalized on it. I think they'd only scored like 9 points off those turnovers. There's 6 in a row turnovers at one point, but either way. Their playoff high was like 20 in a game against New York, and they're already at 19 at the half. But anyway, being only down, 12 at the half-time mark after giving up 19 turnovers is actually pretty remarkable. So you're like, all right, can Indy sort of then push it in the third quarter? Can they get close, stick close, do their usual sort of thing? They kind of did. They were sort of going back and forth. OKC started going at HALIBURTON more on defense. There was more turnovers as well. Dort starts canning threes. He's up to like 15 points out of nowhere. Hartenstein was like laying out dudes to get SGA layups. Toppin, though, he was like found money, right? Absolutely found money. He just kept canning threes when they needed them. And there was a moment, it was like back down to 11 points. It's 79-68. 2 minutes less than the third. He misses. And then Caruso misses a 3 as well. It was so lucky. Then Thomas Bryant hits a 3. And you're like, hang on a second, he's still alive. And Siakam hits a 3. And you're like, what the hell just happened? It's a 6-point game again. And then the last possession of the third quarter, SGA hits a massive 3 and they're back up 11. The fourth quarter starts and you've got OKC attacking sort of just relentlessly. But I don't know, Mark Daigneault had gotten a little bit cute. He got an AJ Mitchell out there. He got Kenrick Williams out there at one point. Anyway, you get into this fourth quarter and like, I don't know, Caruso's hitting these circus shots and he had like an and one, misses the free throw. And you're like, that's a bit of a rough one. Anyway, Toppin hits a 3 and you're like, it's an 11-point game. You go, that's probably fine. Turner hits a 3. And you're like, wait a minute, is this an 8-point game? Toppin gets another 3. And you're like, wait a minute. What the hell is going on? Miles Turner banks in a 3. It's 98-94 out of fucking nowhere. And it's a 4-point game. They're up 14 points at one point of this fourth quarter were the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? 96-82. And then suddenly it's a 4-point game. It's a 12-2 run they've ripped off. SGA has free throws, and he's only like had 4 free throws at this point. And you're like, oh, this is where the free throw merchant gets to bloody work. HALIBURTON gets in there, though. It's still a 4-point game with 5 minutes to go. They miss, though. They get a miss. Okay, so Turner misses a 3 that would have made it a 1-point game with like 4 and a bit minutes to go. SGA hits a twisty one in the paint late after that. HALIBURTON misses a 3, being guarded by Chet. And you're like, oh, 2 open massive 3s that they've missed. Is this the minute where it slips away? SGA goes and draws another foul. It's suddenly a 7-point game with 3 minutes to go. And you're like, oh, this is just going to be it's just going to be too bloody hard. SGA free throws. Naismith hits a 3. It's 108-102 with 2 minutes to go. Nembhard hits a 3. He was so fucking good in this game. They were running all the offense through him as well because Dort had just made HALIBURTON's life absolute fucking hell. And so he hits a 3. It's a 3-point game. A tick under 2 minutes left. Indy at this point was 6 of 9 from downtown in the fourth quarter. OKC were 0 of 4. Dort has this huge block on Naismith. SGA goes back up the other way, drives, gets it in. It's 110-105. There's a foul that they just, I don't know, it's a weird like Caruso foul. SGA then gets blocked by Siakam. It's 110-107. And this is probably the biggest moment of the game that isn't the HALIBURTON fucking game winner, right? It was huge. Absolutely huge. SGA getting blocked by Siakam, and you're like, oh my God. It's suddenly 110-109. Nemhard misses a three. Siakam gets the put up and in. It's incredible. There's a scramble for the ball after J-Dub misses a shot. Siakam falls out of bounds. They challenge it. There's only 22 seconds left at this point too. And you're like, what the hell? OKC get the call. They didn't foul him. They sort of get the inbound play going. SJ rises up for a shot. It's like a bit of a bunny jumper for him. I fully expect this to go in. It doesn't. They don't call a timeout. They push the ball. Halliburton has it. He drives just in. He gives like a nice little head fake. Basically to send Kaysen, Wallace and co. thinking he's going to keep on driving. He sort of stops, props, throws it up and in. And of course, it's Tyrese Halliburton with 0.3 of a second left. Bang! It goes in. Absolutely insane. 0.3 of a second left. OKC can't get anything going on the inbounds. Oh my God. The Pacers have won. So I'm sitting on the couch watching the end of this game, obviously, because I'm crook. And the baby is sitting at the other end of the couch. The baby squid. And old mate's come in. She's like, geez, this game's close. I'm like, yeah, yes, it is. And then so she's watching the last couple of, last minute or so with me. And when that shot goes in, we're both like, ah! And the baby absolutely shit himself. He's like, starts crying. He's like, what just happened? He's got his fucking headphones on watching Octonauts. Still scared the fuck out of him. Absolutely incredible. They scored 12 points in the final 2 minutes. A 12-2 run. 6-0 to close it out. OKC missed these shots. And amazingly enough, in the fourth quarter, after just all of the turnovers, all of the defensive pressure from OKC, they rattled off 35 fucking points in the fourth quarter, did the Pacers. Absolutely incredible. Like, those last 2 minutes were absolutely absurd, right? Siakam's block on SGA was massive. J-Dub's miss, where you're like, that should go in. Ooh, geez. SGA's miss after that, incredible stuff. And boom. After 19 first half turnovers, 24 total turnovers, leading for 0.3 of a second of the entire game, and your Indiana Pacers have got their third straight game one win on the road. It's incredible. Ah, man. Only 4 teams have ever won a playoff game despite leading for 30 seconds or less, ever, since 1998. Since they started tracking all this sort of shit properly. The 99 Spurs in Game 2 of the West Finals, they led for 10 seconds. 2001 Mavs in Game 5 of the first round, they led for 30 seconds. Lakers in Game 4 of the Western Finals, 0-2, that's Sacramento's music. 13 seconds they led. And then today's Pacers, 0.3 of a second. That's fucking incredible. That's also the largest fourth quarter comeback, tying the largest fourth quarter comeback in finals history in the last 50 years. They're down by 14 in the fourth quarter. They're down by 9 with like 3 minutes still to go. They're down by 5 with 90 seconds to go, and they win it. And that's like their fifth comeback from 15 plus in the playoffs, which is incredible, right? They're down 20 to the Bucks, down 20 to the Cavs, down 19 to the Cavs, down 17 to the Knicks, and down 15 in this game to the Thunder. And they won. The comeback Pacers, absolutely incredible shit. They had 25 turnovers, 24, 25 turnovers. The Thunder only ended up with 11 points off those turnovers, which is pretty crazy. So, I mean, what an absolutely absurd situation. Like 82 field goal attempts for Indy, right? 82. OKC took 98 shots. They had 16 more shots and lost. They went 28 of 68 on twos. They missed 42s. They shot 40% in the paint. Oh, absolutely brutal. So, yeah, if you shoot under 40%, even if you get 24, 25 turnovers, yeah, it's going to get a bit rough. So that's what happened. OKC shoot 39.8% from the floor, 11 of 30 from downtown. Only had 39 rebounds. They were crushing them on the offensive boards early, and then they sort of made a bit of concerted effort, did the Pacers, to limit that impact. And that was, I actually forgot to mention this, they did change their starting lineup before. They've gone with the same starting lineup the entire time, and they go, no, this is what we're going to try now. They sent Hartenstein to the bench. They started Case and Wallace because they're like, well, look, Indy's small. We'll go small as well so we don't get jumped. And it kind of looked like it worked. And it did for the vast majority of the game. And somehow they lose. Anyway, 39 rebounds, only 6 turnovers. When you win the turnover battle by 18 and you take 16 more shots than the other team, I think you should fucking win that game. SJ finishes with 38 points, shoots 14 of 30, 3 of 6 from deep, only 8 free throws, and a lot of those are late, obviously, as I mentioned. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. A really tough J-Dub game. 6 of 19 shooting for his 17 points. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, though. Chet had 6 rebounds, 6 points, at a really rough game. Chet was pretty bloody bad. Dort was awesome. Missed a bunch of his shots early, then started hitting them. He ends up with 15 points, 5 and 9 from deep. He also had 4 steals, causing all sorts of havoc, just ruining Tyrese Halliburton shit until the end. Cason Wallace was 6 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 rebounds. Like, it felt like it worked okay, but I still kind of would just rather have Chet and Hartenstein out there just smashing them on the boards, right? We're going small. Okay. Did they want you to go small? I don't want to do the thing that the other team wants me to do. Caruso put on a bit of a Caruso show. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Was absolutely everywhere. And it just feels unfair that they have both Dort and Caruso on this OKC team. Anyway, 9 points, 9 rebounds for Hartenstein in 17 minutes. Interesting sort of game for him because I think he did a lot of good stuff, and it wouldn't really surprise me if for game 2 they just go back to the all-big lineup. Isaiah Joe, 5 points. Fine. Wiggins, 9 minutes, 3 points. AJ Mitchell, 0 of 3. Don't know if he should be playing in a finals game, but I don't know. Their bench went 2 of 7 from downtown. And this is it. This is how OKC lose games. I talk about this all the fucking time now, right? The wheel of fortune of death. When you've got OKC, they just spin it, and 2 of their bench dudes will be fucking awesome. Today, Caruso was awesome. Hartenstein was pretty good. But they need kind of like that second awesome dude to be hitting threes. And it makes a big difference. When they go 2 of 7 from deep, pretty brutal. The other brutal thing was they went 46 points in the paint, apparently on 47 attempts, which is just crazy. As I said, they shot 40% in the paint. It's just, whoa, rough. Anyway, there you go. Indy, 47% from the floor. They hit 18 threes. Your beauty from 39 attempts. That's pretty bloody good. 46%, just saying. They also ended up out-rebounding them pretty comprehensively. 56 rebounds to 39. And despite the 24 turnovers, as I said, the points scored off those turnovers didn't really end up killing Indy. It just sort of put a cap on the points that they were scoring because they didn't have the fucking ball anymore. Right? Halliburton finishes with 14, 10, and 6. Oh, geez, it's a bit pedestrian, isn't it, Jim? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter until, like, I don't know, the last fucking 7 seconds of a game, apparently. Incredible. He shot 0 free throws as well. I reckon that'll change. 19 and 10 for Siakam. He was absolutely fantastic. Loved everything he did. The block that he had, as I said, was just immense. Naismith and Nembhard both, look, it was incredible to watch Indy sort of go, well, Dort is ruining Halliburton. Just ruining his shit. We're going to run the offense through Nembhard. He's going to handle the ball, and we'll sort of figure it out from there. And they fucking did. It was really good. It was really smart coaching. Not a surprise with Rick Carlisle. And like Naismith and Nembhard both hit big shots in that fourth quarter. Naismith ends up with 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 turnovers. That's a hell of a day. 3 of 7 from downtown. Nembhard ends up with 14, 4, and 6. He was fantastic. And Miles Turner, 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks, 6 turnovers. It was like every time, well, obviously, ain't no stopping Obi Toppin also had a couple of pretty bloody rough turnovers there, but when most of your turnovers are coming from Naismith, Turner, and Toppin, you're kind of like, yeah, tracks that OKC are making all of you guys look like Julius Randle all of a sudden. But Toppin was really, 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 really good. He had 17 points off the bench, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, which might be the most shocking one of those ones. But obviously the turnovers early were killing him, but he only had the 3. They're all in the first quarter, and after that, he hit 5 of 8 from 3. And it felt like every time shit was just completely slipping away, he'd hit one. And you're like, ooh, they needed that. And then when they're trying to eat into that actual lead, he'd hit one. And you're like, aha, success. Not bad. Great stuff from Obi Toppin. TJ McConnell didn't score a point after the first half, but was still really, really good. 9 points, 4 assists. Benny Matherin gave him a nice little bit of a run there in the third quarter. He only shot 1 of 5, but he got to the free throw line a couple of times. Ends up with a 5, 3, and 2. And Shepard hit a 3. And Thomas, not Kobe Bryant, used that championship experience. He played 2 minutes. Anyway, 5 points, 2 of 2 from the floor. One of which was a massive 3 that I alluded to earlier that gave him a bit of a sniff. And it's like, we're not out of this. Amazing. And so the series is Indiana leading 1-0. How good is this? Because we're going to be doing game 2 from the Hotel Trentham. We're going to be there watching it. We'll do some live streaming during the game, do a show afterwards. It's going to fucking rule. I'm so excited because my biggest fear was that OKC was just going to kick the fuck out of Indy in this game. And you go, well, probably much the same in game 2. Now that Indy is up 1-0, OKC even bigger favorites in game 2 now because everyone's expecting them to come down like a fucking pile of bricks on them. And I don't know. Indy have just proven that you can't kill them dead. It's almost impossible. So anyway, let's do an NBA Australia Pro performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That is a knife. Tyrese, the motherfucker dead-eye killer. Halliburton. Unbelievable. Despite an actually kind of, ho-hum stat line, I did take his over and his rebounds. I felt pretty good about that. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Which isn't that bad considering he was fucking blanketed by Lou Dort the entire game. 6 of 13 shooting from down and 2 of 7 from deep. But of course, hit the go-ahead fucking bucket with 0.3 of a second remaining to win the fucking game. Absolutely incredible. Honorable mention to Siakam. That block completely flipped the game because they scored going back the other way. That's a huge 4-point swing, right? Out of nowhere. Where Siakam just negated a SGA bucket and they go back up and boom, away they go. Very, 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 very cool. And honorable mention again to also Ain't No Stoppin' Obi Toppin because absolutely found money. These are the games during the playoffs where you go, role player X stepped up and did this. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And game 1 is now going to be the Halliburton comeback game. But also, if they had have won by 4 or something, it'd be like, oh yeah, that was the game that Obi Toppin went off in. Awesome gear. Absolutely. Can you tell I'm almost giddy with excitement? Who was the Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. Probably Chet. Really didn't impact the game it felt like at all on almost either end. He was clogging up the paint, causing all sorts of havoc, yes. But by the same token, it was like, yeesh. Ends up shooting 2 of 9 for 6 points and 6 rebounds, 1 block, and that's literally it. 1 turnover. 0 of 1 from 3. 2 of 9 when you're 7'40" and going up against a team that has only Miles Turner basically big enough to guard you. That is just not good enough. And also J-Dub, 6 of 19 shooting. As I mentioned, that's literally one of his worst shooting games of the year, and actually his worst shooting game of the year when he's made 6 shots, right? 6 of 19. I think his worst one other than that was 5 of 20. And another one where he went 4 of 15 or something. But yeah, 6 of 19 is particularly bad. It's not very good. It's not very good at all. So yeah, it's especially egregious for me because, I don't know, you know me, I don't mind a flutter. I did have J-Dub 20 plus points in a lot of things, and a couple of them only missed by that, but I don't get bent out of shape for that sort of stuff. 6 of 19 though, that is a lot of missed shots, and especially that second last shot that he missed where you're like, oh, that should have gone in. Kind of just rushed it, just looked a bit janky. So anyway, a couple of spuds right there. It's always going to be tough to find spuds in a finals game. Because but that was also kind of a big thing. it didn't hit the over, so it ends up with like what 111, 110, and the over under is like 230 in this game. So it's because they got off to such a slow start. I think both teams they couldn't. So like they were both trying to get the measure of each other. I think Mark Dagenham said earlier, he's like, look, yeah, we've barely played this fucking team. They're from the East. What do you expect? And they sort of get off to these sort of really slow starts, both teams. OKC obviously settled in really, really quickly. Indy fought back. OKC put the foot down. But it never sort of jumped into that free, with all the turnovers and stuff. It was just like a really, really, really scrappy game. But the thing that stands out to me now is that I think the Pacers scored like 66 points in the second half. It was like 31 points in the third quarter, 35, I think, in that fourth quarter, after they managed 10 points for the vast majority of the first quarter, right? So they can put points up on this defense of OKC when they're just not fucking flat out giving him the ball. 19 turnovers in a half. What are you doing? That's a bit of old mate no mates and Spud of the night. Stop turning the fucking ball over. And you would have smashed him. But they still won anyway. Who is old mate no mates?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
Old mate, no
mates.
mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Casey Wallace on the last Halliburton shot, as I mentioned, right? He sort of just shook his head, thought he was going to drive, and he just sort of stopped and popped, and Casey Wallace was just a tiny little bit out of position to contest that game winner, and it goes in. There's like, you could have done just that tiny little bit more, but because he bit just a hint, as a young player, you get that on the big jobs. Old mate no mates as well. Tyrese Halliburton is such a fucking nice dude. So, you know, old mate no mates, he's been called the most overrated player in that player poll. As people have pointed out, that player poll has been filled in by absolutely fuck all of the actual players. And of that actual fuck all, like, he got like 8 votes. So, anyway, he was on with Scott Van Pelt after the game on SportsCenter. And Scott Van Pelt is like, yeah, I was wrong about the Pacers. You guys are awesome. I didn't like prep anything for the post-game stuff that was basically about you guys. It was all going to be OKC. And Tyrese Halliburton's like, it's cool, man. That's all good. I get you. Thank you for your honesty. It's like, that's fucking good. But also, like, Tyrese Halliburton, like, talk about underrated. Same time, he did have 14, 10, and 6. Richard Jefferson's like, hey, man, you can't be having, if you're a superstar, you can't be out here having fucking stat lines that look like tour dates. It's like, I'll pay that. And so maybe Richard Jefferson's the old mate no mates because Tyrese Halliburton went, yeah, it's cool, Richard. Fuck you. Bang. Pantsing of the night. Well, initially, this was the 19 turnovers in the first half, but obviously the pantsing is at the very end where Tyrese Halliburton completely pantsed, 20,000 people in that Oklahoma City arena. It was deathly quiet after that. It was Hey, have you ever seen a dude rip the heart out of 20,000 people all at once? Yes, once. That was incredible. It shut air, like, it's super fucking loud. And then he just didn't matter for Tyrese Halliburton. He just Carly marred these motherfuckers. Hand in, rips the heart out. Skadoosh. That is a pantsing. Benny Mathurin also had a pretty good block on J-Dub, just body to body. That was a pretty good one. And obviously Siakam's block on SJ was all time. Massive moment. Great timing. Nailed it. Who was better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, and Ben Simmons?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody, my man, Andy Nemhard. I love him. 14, 4, and 4 is like his baseline stats that I've been crushing all playoff long. But today, 14, 4, and 6, plus 11 was Andy Nemhard. Plus 11 in 32 minutes. In a game that they won by 1 and trailed quite badly in for the vast majority of. Like, that is an awesome game for him. He was he only shot 4 of 11, 2 of 6 from 3. Only the 2 turnovers, though, and that was kind of the key part. When all the other starters, like Siakam only had 1 turnover as well, but like when Naismith and Turner just keep coughing it up, Tyrese Halliburton's obviously having a fucking tough time against Dort. Nemhard was such a great breaking case of emergency because this was it wasn't an emergency. It's game one of the fucking finals. And he delivered. His shots that he hit, massive. He was so fucking good. Andy Nemhard, better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, and Ben Simmons. All right, what about, and this is good, what about a Magic tweet of the week? The Oklahoma City Thunder should be worried about Indiana because the Pacers have been a great road team in this year's playoffs. Throughout the playoffs, they beat the Bucks in Milwaukee once at home in the first round, the number 1 seeded Cavaliers 3 times in Cleveland in the second round, and then beat the Knicks twice in New York during the Eastern Conference Finals. He then took a victory lap. Remember what I said? The Pacers beat every team they've faced on the road during the playoffs, and they kept that streak going tonight against OKC. What do we say? Thanks, Magic. But then my favorite, absolute classic Magic one here. The Pacers came back from a 15-point deficit in the second half to win the game. We have to give the entire team credit because this was a total team victory. The starting 5 players scored double figures and Toppin added 17 points from the bench. Thanks, Magic. All right. Dickhead of the week.
Dickhead of the week.
Gilbert Arenas for calling out Cat. It's like his whole thing. Basically, he's trying to call him a little bit too zesty, if you know what I mean. It's like, Gilbert, come on. He's like out there saying, he's not good at basketball. He's got those girl hips. You're like, Gilbert, you're so... And basically Gilbert Arenas going, I'd fuck him up. It's like, dude, Cat, I feel like I loved Gilbert Arenas when he was playing. No chill Gil. He is like an absolute fucking lunatic. Loved him then. Loved his like old columns on NBA.com and shit, like back in the olden days. This is like, you'd have to fucking ask your granddad about that one. Anyway, but yeah, him saying that he was better than Cat. I mean, everybody needs to go, Gilbert, you weren't as good at basketball as Cat is. You were pretty good. You're also like, you never won shit. So I don't know, I'm just saying. Neither is Cat, but still. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back with some YNRs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do it. YNR's brought to you by you. That's right. You can help support the show by going to the link in our bio and shouting us a beer, shouting us a coffee. You can join up with the membership as well, where you get a unique standalone podcast just for the members of that specific club, which is really cool. Go check it out. The link is in our bio. Thanks to all the legends who already signed up. You all make my heart a bit warmer. Considering I've had fevers coming and going over the last 24 hours, my heart could probably not do with that much more warmth, but still, I do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Right. Shout us a beer. Links in the bio. Matty O, you wouldn't leave your missus alone with any of the OKC players around Jim. They are so handsy. Yes. That first half was an absolute clinic in just how they could fuck you up on defense. And it felt like every drive or even just like dribbling around the perimeter, Indy were just like, oh God, he's stolen the ball again. What the fuck, man? It was crazy. They were so handsy. It was everywhere. It was all absolute chaos. And then Indy kind of slowly figured it out. They moved the ball a little bit better. They took better care of it, and they won the fucking game. Benny Do. Jalen Brunson needs to hand deliver his Clutch Player of the Year award to Hallie ASAP. I fucking love this idea. I think it's a bit of an Outback Takehouse as well. We see this all the time. It's a regular season award. Okay, why? Right? Why is Clutch Player of the Year only for the regular season. Are the playoffs not part of the year? It's fucking weird. The same thing kind of goes for the MVP. Oh, but Jim, then we just give it to the best player on the team that won the finals. It's like, that might be the point of the MVP. I'm just saying. But at the same time, I feel like we should be able to like recast votes up until the end of the playoffs and just go, defensive player of the year actually wasn't Mobley. They got smoked by the Pacers. We'll give it to Dyson instead. That sort of stuff. It's crazy, right? But yeah, Halliburton, I've got a couple of those stats about Halliburton's clutchness in a second, but fucking hell, it's absurd. But finally, we usually do the loser post-mortem in a year now, but for now, it's kind of like, hang on. The Pacers have just won game 1 in OKC. Can they legitimately win the title from here on out? Yeah, nah. Yes. Yes, they fucking can. Because this is the often explained example, right? Where it's like, if you lose a really, really close game in a 7-game series, just the simple idea of like, well, you were leading until 0.3 seconds of this game remained. So you basically won game 1, but you didn't. So now you have to win 4 of the next 6 games. You have to beat them basically 5 fucking times. That's really hard to do against anybody, even if you were massive, massive, massive favorites. So, I don't know. Bit of a weird one. And yeah, the Pacers could definitely do this. Kind of leads into very nicely into the old unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I took Indy in 6. Let's go. I still believe. So I did go back over my the bet slippy sort of stuff, right? In the account. Not on Dabble because there were no series long bets that I could find on there before. And they also crashed with the same gamers. So if you had followed us, you probably got like $20 cash from them. But anyway, I had a look at the other one that I've got and it's like, okay, cool. All of my ones that are like series long, as I mentioned on yesterday's show, right? We've got SGA to go for 30 plus per game. Halliburton to have a triple-double in any game. 15 plus assists in a game. But then my favorite one that I've realized that I've bet 3 different times is the series to be over in 6. So, Indy in 6 is obviously the other one that I have a couple of times. Is it all because of that fucking corgi throwing the balls down the stairs? Look, I'm not going to say that it's not, but he got it right. He had the Pacers winning game 1. Who are you to argue against a magical dog? Fucking nobody, especially me. Anyway, Outback Takehouse. We've kind of already done the Outback Takehouse, but have a crack. It's Friday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh, yeah. 2 for 1, Foster's oil drum cans. That's right, the cans are the size of your fucking head. 2 for 1. It's Australian for beer, don't forget, so get around it. Goes pretty great with this Flame Grilled Take, and today's Flame Grilled Take is, yeah, the award should always be actual season long, including the playoffs. It's a fucking piss take that we're like, no, he was the best player in the entire thing, and it's like, but he's not in the finals. What are we doing here? It's a bit weird. It's a bit bloody weird. Anyway, the other Flame Grilled Take is, or, you know, we can actually then litigate all the awards as we're going through the playoffs. You know? It's like, well, clutch player of the year. Bronson was good, but Halliburton's been way better, which again, we'll get to in a second. Outback Takehouse as well. Indiana Pacers fans. The sweep is on. Oh, yeah. Alternately, everybody who had OKC in 5, again, I'm not going to be panicking because they could easily rattle off 4 straight. But Indy getting a split in OKC was absolutely crucial for Indy because in OKC, look, not as great on the road, but fucking amazing at home. And I feel like Indy just desperately needed to get one of these games in OKC because even if they split at home, we're going back to game 5, 2-2. So fascinating stuff. Some pretty good stuff. All right, Australian Player Watch. Very brief, but we did see Johnny Furphy in the picture that I posted on the socials after Tyrese Halliburton hit that shot to take the lead. because he did cop a did not play coach's decision in game 1. So, bit of a rough one, but that's okay. Johnny Tins, he's a rookie. And he got into a really, really cool photo. So that's pretty good. All right, let's do that Andrew Gaze Gray Mamba Award, Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence.
Andrew Gaze Grey Mamba.
Outstanding achievement here.
All right, easy one today because it's Tyrese Halliburton and his clutchness. He is 13 of 15 on game-winning or tying shots in the final 2 minutes of games this year. 13 of 15 this year alone. In the playoffs, when taking a shot to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime, just in these playoffs, he's 6 of 7. That is so fucking insane. Are you kidding me? It's also the most in a single playoff since 1997. That is absolutely off its head. So he's 13 of 15 on game-winning or tying shots in the final 2 minutes of just all games this year. He's 6 of 7 to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds of the fourth or overtime in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? That's incredible. Overrated. What a world. All right, Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. Let's do it. Paddy with the good hair. Oh, there's a kids one. Well, he's in a very sparse-looking apartment watching the game 1. It's pretty good. Don't know what to make of that, but sure. Paddy, though, here we go. Told them I was going to Miami swim week. She's the headline. I'm the +1. Oh, like with the NBA? Holy fucking airball. Oh, it's pictures of the misses. That's great. What a legend. She's the headline. I'm the +1. Good job, Paddy. Good job, mate. All right, let's do a game preview for game 2. Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Certainly felt better. Certainly sounded better. But anyway, the most exciting thing about this game 2 on Monday morning is the fact that we're going to be at the Hotel Trentham watching along with Chris Anstey and co. It's going to be awesome up there. So if you are around on the Monday morning, it's a public holiday. Come up to Trentham, hang out, smash some tins, chill out with us, watch the game. We'll do some live streams during the actual game itself. And then we'll do a show afterwards. I'll jump up on the little stage there, get Chris involved, have a chat, tape it up, bang, off we go. So come along, hang out, Hotel Trentham for a live show, and watch bloody game 2 with this. It's going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait. And for all the vibes and pics and everything, we'll have those on Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya. Sign up using the link in our bio or the link on it in our show description. They had some problems with their same gamers today. We still got a bunch of them up. But yeah, so go check them out. That was really close cut stuff that they got there, but it was really fun. Right. Code NBA Straya. Game 2. Indy at OKC. Now, the over-under has slipped a little bit. It's now down to 227.5. I'm still actually probably going to go the over in this one because 111, 110 today. It felt like that goes under because obviously fucking Indy gave OKC the ball 19 times in the first half. It really caps your scoring potential if you just give them the ball and that's not a possession that you get to score on, right? I'm probably going to go the over 227. And OKC are now 11.5 point favorites, which is pretty crazy. Indy's now 19-11 against the spread as the away underdog. But OKC's home record is absolutely chaotic. And especially like following a loss, I really always will look for, the response game, right? And OKC, you think about the game that they lost where they got absolutely smashed by Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. They lose by 42. They turn around, they win a really close one in game 4. But there was also the 125-98 smashing they put on the Nuggets after losing. That was in game 7 after losing game 6. They smashed the Nuggets by 43 after losing game one. And this is the one that sort of sticks out to me most, right? It's the exact same way that OKC lost game one against Denver. They lead. Denver comes from the clouds. They have the Aaron Gordon fucking game winner. Absolutely crazy, right? And then, of course, the Nuggets turn around and get absolutely killed by OKC in game two. I want to keep believing in Indy to keep these close because Indy are really, really good. Their defense was really solid in the second half, but I just do feel like OKC's offense is going to just go absolutely ballistic in game two. So I might take OKC minus 11.5 for the minute. And the over, because I feel like they could put up 140, and Indy is probably going to put up like 120, and they'll lose still. And that'll still cover the 11.5, which is crazy to think about. But we will have a bunch of same gamers up on Dabble for this game too as well. And I'll do a video probably Sunday night before jumping in the car to Fang up to Trentham for the game two show. So, yeah. I think we're going to go OKC for game two. Minus 11.5. And I think we'll still go the over. Sound good? Yeah. Great. Because that's it for today. You beauty. I think I've survived this, kind of just. Hopefully it hasn't been too bad to listen to. But anyway, as mentioned, the big things, obviously, we're going to be at Hotel Trentham for game two, so come join us. It's a great pub. Chris is a great host. He'll come out, hang out, talk some shit. It'll be fan-fucking-tastic. I cannot wait to get up there for this. So it's going to be really, really fun. Come join us if you're in Victoria. Let's Fang the Trentham. It's a beautiful little spot. You hang out, check out the town. It's going to be absolutely unreal. Might as well kick on and watch the fucking footy too. Anyway, we'll be back on deck after, we'll be doing the live show on Monday, so check that out. That's going to be awesome. Come hang out with us and see all the other stuff. We'll be doing live streams and stuff throughout the game, etc. So check us out on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. We'll have a Sunday night tins with Jim, I reckon, to preview that game that we'll put up so we're not doing it in the car on the way up there. So, check us a rating and review for NBA Straya and NFL Straya on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you use on your Android phone. It really does help. So, rate, review, star, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. It'd be really, really, really appreciated. You can shout us a beer or shout us a coffee. The link in our bio to, buy me a coffee. Appreciate your help there. And, of course, you can also follow all the stuff on Dabble. Use that code NBA Straya. The link is in our bio. The link is in the show description. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, They Rule. So to House Hats, Joshua De La Rentas, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa Sex Shadow, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. So smash them all on Apple Music and Spotify and all that good stuff. Hey, NBA Straya supports Australian bands. So should you. All right, thanks for sticking with me today. It's been a bit of a rough one. So we will catch you on Monday, you dickheads. Well, we'll see you for Sunday night tins with Jim. But then I'll see you at the Hotel Trentham on Monday morning for game two. Come hang out. It's going to be a fucking blast. We'll see you then, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would you? And let us on! Go Pacers!
G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions, I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old Dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So, if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?